How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk to you about something that has never happened before in crypto and will be available for you very soon. We're also going to take a look at the stock market and the crypto market and how we're seeing quite a divergence right now in crypto and in the stock market, which is really interesting. And the psychology behind it is fascinating. We also have Terra Luna actually being accepted. The developers are now being accepted into another big chain. So we're going to take a look at that crypto and see if maybe it has room to run. So if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I appreciate that. There's also a link down there to FTX, which we're going to talk about later. But you'll definitely want to sign up with those links underneath the video, and I'll explain why that is in a bit. But the crypto market's looking much better today. Of course, we're still kind of in the same range, but Bitcoin is still in the $30,000 to $31,000 range, which I think is really good, especially after we saw a 5% down day yesterday on the NASDAQ. The market here is up 3.2%. Now, the whole stock market is a little bit mixed, whether you're in the NASDAQ or something like the Dow. The NASDAQ's actually doing pretty well today, up 1%. The Dow's down 0.5%, which is different than we've seen a lot recently. Usually the NASDAQ's down significantly more than everything else because most of the days are red right now. You can see Bitcoin broke out here and stopped right around 30,500, hit some resistance there. Now, the interesting thing is Bitcoin has held up so well compared to what I thought we would do if we had this kind of circumstance happen, right? Like, imagine the stock market. First of all, NASDAQ's down 30% or so, 28% now. But imagine something like what happened with Luna and with the UST happened in the stock market, where something that was thought of as stable, like some kind of US dollar or treasury or something, all of a sudden went down to zero. Let's say some massive company defaulted on their debts and $40 billion or $30 billion, I guess it was $20 billion for UST, was snapped just like that. And then also one of the largest companies in the world, a top 10 company, all of a sudden went to $1 billion worth of market cap. Imagine that happened. Like, that would be like Lehman Brothers, right? Think about what happened with Lehman Brothers. That fallout was much worse than crypto. Now we're having people that are in the community say, like the Huobi Global co-founder said that the Terra crash is not really a risk to broader crypto. And we'll talk more about his thinking behind that. But it's amazing to see the resiliency in crypto when this happened. And it's not just fear, right? It's not just like, oh, 2 of the top 10 cryptos fell out. No, it's actually that one of the companies, LFG, sold 80,000 Bitcoin within days. That's an insane amount of money or an insane amount of crypto that they sold, and that drags down the entire crypto market. So there's fear, something that's never happened, really a black swan event, and then also massive selling that is forced selling, not just by the people that are getting scared, but by a company that's trying to stop the bleeding. So I just can't imagine that the stock market would hold up that well if something like that were to happen there, which is, I think, phenomenal in a way. In another way, it doesn't happen in the stock market as often as it happens in crypto, where people lose money, a significant amount of money, especially in DeFi. So that's really interesting here today that we're holding up so well. Something else that's really going to be cool is that FTX is going to launch stock trading against stablecoins. So I knew that they were going to launch stock trading. I didn't think you were going to be able to fund with stablecoins. Now, this is really interesting just because of what this means. First of all, FTX is a lot bigger than a lot of people think. I don't know if you know this, but they raised capital last fall at a $32 billion valuation. Now, they might have come down a little bit since then. It's hard to tell because it's a private company and so many companies have fallen down in price. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing that they've fallen down in valuation. But when you compare that to something like Robinhood's $9 billion. Now, something like Charles Schwab is much bigger, but when you compare it to something like Robinhood, when you think about how many users are on Robinhood, they will have so much power to grow because they're willing to give so much free money. And that's just a really easy way of growing quickly at first. And of course, it takes time to build out all their different services, but they're already much bigger than the likes of Robinhood and they can give some free money, right? They've been raising money. They can, give you free crypto or free stocks when you sign up. And that's something, I'm a partner of FTX. That's something that I can offer you with the link underneath the video. You can get free crypto on trades over $10. I think this will unlock a lot of interesting opportunities because people will be able to do everything in one place. So that's one of the most annoying things I think for new crypto investors and for people that are more set in their ways is they have to get different accounts, right? In crypto, it's not like you just get one account or you can just do it from Fidelity or wherever you already have money. A lot of the time, if you want to invest in certain cryptos, you have to sign up with, let's say, FTX and then Voyager and Kucoin, and you want interest, and then you want to get into DeFi, so you have to get different wallets. And you have to do all that on top of your stock trading app. But instead, now you get stablecoins, right? Maybe you want a yield on stablecoins, assuming this is all cleared by the government. Great, you can keep money in stablecoins instead of US Treasuries or something like that, and it's going to pay more. And then you can move it over to stocks. You see a dip in the stock market, you want to put it there. You take profits, you put it back in stablecoin. Maybe you get a yield there. Again, this is all assuming the US government clears this. But think about how powerful that would be and how much flexibility that would give you if you could just go from stablecoin to stocks to stablecoin to crypto to stablecoin to stocks. And I think that would unlock a lot of different possibilities and make it much easier for new people to start investing. They could start a portfolio and then manage it however they wanted instead of having to move money to their bank accounts back and forth, and that's a pain. So if you guys want to sign up for this, maybe be one of the first people to have access to this, there is a link underneath the video. Now, we also got word from the SHIB global co-founder, Jun Du, that he doesn't think the Terra crash will be a risk to the broader crypto ecosystem. He says that in the short term, it will hurt, but over long term, it won't matter. The demand will recover. He says in the long term, demand for cryptocurrencies as a hedge against fiat inflation will continue to grow, as well as applications of blockchain technology. I agree. I think there's a lot of things that blockchain can be used for, and a lot of people don't realize it yet. And a lot of people are wondering these days whether Bitcoin is actually a hedge against inflation, right? Because all of us hear that, and yet in the most inflationary time in the past 40 years, Bitcoin's falling down. You have to realize that the value of the dollar is going up, and if you look over the long term, Bitcoin outperforms the dollar significantly. I don't think either of those things are too important though, because I think when you're really looking at a hedge against inflation, in my mind, that tells me that I want something that's not going to be inflated. And that is literally what Bitcoin is, right? We know that's inflationary, just a few percent, but that's going to decrease every 4 years or so. And I think that is really the definition of a hedge against inflation, right? It's going to be less inflationary over time. And if you're looking at something that will outperform, I think that's almost a different thing, but it still outperforms the dollar over any long period of time. He also says crypto as a technology and asset class introduces value and innovation that are unique and irreplaceable. And we believe that one bad apple for the short run will not affect long-term demand for crypto assets and the industry as a whole. And I agree. We've seen these things happen in the past, large hacks, crumbling of different cryptos, and over the long term, Bitcoin recovers, the whole cryptocurrency market recovers. Now, one thing that's been happening a lot recently is people have been trying to revive the Terra ecosystem. They say that there are a bunch of good developers on there and they think that they should continue to try to develop it. Now, BNB is reaching out and they're offering a lifeline to Terra ecosystem projects, basically allowing them to migrate over to BNB. And obviously, CZ has been very vocal about his thoughts on Luna. I'm sure he'll get some flack from this, but it is interesting because certain projects are already moving over to BNB. And BNB is really well established. They've been around the top 5 or top 10 cryptos for a long time. And a lot of people give them a hard time because they are more centralized, but that's just how they are and that's how they've always been. So you have to realize that going in. Over the long term, BNB has actually held up pretty well as well. It's down about 50% from its highs, while a lot of other cryptos are down 70, 80, 90%. Even some in the top 10 are down really significantly. And yet BNB, it's only down 50%. So that's just something to consider. Now let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in, the ability to convert stablecoin over into stocks. I think that's awesome. Let me know your thoughts on that underneath the video. Again, you can check out that link to FTX. One link, the top link, is for newer traders. The one underneath is for more experienced traders. And that is the link to actually have this stock trading against stablecoins, the second link. So let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.